All praise is due to Allah, and that is sufficient, and peace be upon His chosen servants. And then, by the grace of Allah, we are still continuing our blessed and virtuous series, which is titled The Tolerance of Islam. And we are still, by Allah's permission and grace, discussing the gentleness of Caliph Umar ibn Al-Khattab. May Allah be pleased with him and grant him contentment towards the people of the book. And after I presented to you a good and blessed example in the previous episode, I will also bring you something new in this episode, God willing, regarding the covenant or the guarantee of safety that Caliph Umar ibn Al-Khattab, may Allah be pleased with him and grant him contentment, gave to the people of Alia. This is recorded in the pages of books. It is documented in history books and in the books of biography and so on. In fact, even the Orientalists preserved this and considered it one of the greatest documents to be emulated in history. I want us to really focus together. What exactly is the covenant of safety that Umar ibn Al-Khattab, may Allah be pleased with him and grant him contentment, gave to these people, to the people of Alia? We want to see what this covenant is. He granted them safety for themselves, their property, their churches and their crosses. This is the first point. So what does this guarantee cover, everyone? I want us to really focus together, because if I just speak generally like this, there won't be any focus in understanding. That's why I say to my fathers, to my mothers, to my brothers, sisters, sons, daughters, we must focus so that we can recognize what is strictness and what is leniency. And when we identify strictness, as I said, it is so that we can reject it. As for leniency, it is to be adopted, but not the kind of leniency that is excessive, but rather leniency that is based on sound principles, on thorough analysis, on theoretical foundations, on knowledge, and on the guidance of the book and the sunnah, or on the understanding of the early generations through their interpretations. Come with us gave them assurance for their own safety. The first thing he told them was, you are safe with regard to your own selves, meaning that no harm or injustice would befall them from the Muslims. This is the first point. And likewise, regarding their property, he granted them security over their wealth, meaning that as for your wealth, there will be absolutely no opportunity for anyone to take any of your property, whether it be land, real estate, silver, gold, or anything of the sort. You have absolute security regarding your lives and your property, and that's not 11 for places of worship, such as churches. You have absolute security over those churches, meaning that those churches will not be demolished, you will not be restricted in your use of them, and you will not be prevented from ringing bells or any similar practices. As for the crosses, he said that you have security even for your crosses, as long as these are part of your religious symbols and core to your faith and so on. No one will ever attack them based on the principle of there is no compulsion in religion, and to you your religion, and to me mine. All right. The second point he mentioned was that churches should not be inhabited by others, nor should they be demolished. It doesn't just mean that we preserve your churches and guarantee their safety for you. No one is allowed to live in them. In other words, no Muslim can come and say, for example, I don't have a place to stay, so I'll live here. Absolutely not. They are protected and preserved, and they are not to be demolished. Likewise, no one can come and say, we entered here because we are stronger and we have the upper hand, so we will demolish it. No, you are guaranteed safety regarding this, and nothing will be taken away from them or from their premises. We will not even restrict them or take anything from them at all. They will remain as they are within their boundaries and so on. Okay, and he gave them security that they would not be persecuted because of their Christianity. He also told them that there would be no persecution because of the beliefs they hold. You as Christians, we will never force you to abandon what you believe in. And you will never be persecuted for remaining Christians. To you, your religion, and to me, mine. All right? And none of them shall be harmed, coerced, or persecuted because of what they believe. And that is why scholars say, of course, and so on. They say that this very great document from Umar ibn Al-Khattab, may God be pleased with him and grant him peace, for the people of Alia left absolutely nothing out. And it is a strong rebuttal to the criminals who attack Islam, try to demonize Islam, attempt to distort Islam, and claim that Islam spread by the sword, destroyed churches and oppressed others. That is why when I go online and see some people with sickness in their hearts talking about the Islamic conquest of Egypt, saying it was not a conquest but an invasion, and making all sorts of claims about it, I believe I have already presented clear evidence of absolute tolerance, and that the people of Egypt were supporters of Amr ibn al-As. I have responded to those extremists, those who are hateful and spiteful. Also, regarding those who harbor hatred toward Islam and claim that Islam hates forces or does similar things or takes the rights of others, they lied. By God, they lied. By God. So I present to you these documents one after another so that I may instill in the hearts of all people, in the hearts of Muslims, in the hearts of Christians, in the hearts of Jews, in the hearts of atheists, in the hearts of heretics, in the hearts of everyone, the tolerance that Muslims practiced, which was derived from the teachings of Islam, from the indications of the Qur'an, and from the authentic teachings of the Prophet, the master of all creation. That is why what I'm mentioning now, I sincerely hope that the children of Muslims will keep it as documentation. Why? So that when you go online and see attacks against Islam and claims that Muslims did this or that, you can send them these facts. And when you find someone attacking one of the caliphs or speaking negatively about the caliphate and saying all sorts of negative things, respond to them with these facts. They are well documented, and no critic, attacker, or enemy can undermine or challenge them in any way whatsoever. Therefore, I say, by the will of Allah the Almighty, it is time for me to move on to a new example of tolerance in dealing with the people of the book. I am still talking about the caliphate of Umar ibn Al-Khattab, may Allah be pleased with him, and about his gentleness. So when there is gentleness from Umar ibn Al-Khattab, may Allah be pleased with him, towards the people of the book. Pay attention, someone might say, the people of the book. So what about the others, the Magians, the pagans, and so on? Yes, there was gentleness towards them as well. And I have presented you with evidence from the Qur'an regarding this. I have brought you the evidence of the authentic Sunnah in this regard. And I have brought you many other proofs as well. But I am speaking briefly here, using a generalization. This tolerance is for everyone, this leniency is for all, by the will of Allah the Almighty. Now, among the examples of tolerance towards the people of the book, which also demonstrate the utmost and absolute gentleness, is the example set by Umar ibn Al-Khattab. May Allah be pleased with him and grant him contentment. That famous incident, look at what I'm saying. That well-known famous incident, of course, it's found in the books, it's well known on the pulpits, and it's famous on satellite channels. It's famous on religious radio stations. It's well known on social media, and it's extremely famous. No one can possibly deny it. Why is that? Because the narration is authentic and clear in all its details, as clear as the sun at midday. Of course, since we've built up some anticipation to hear about this incident, and I believe the story isn't new to you, but what we take from it is both new and old for everyone by the will of Allah the Almighty. But let me tell you, until I meet you all again in a future episode, God willing, I say to everyone, peace be upon you and the mercy and blessings of Allah. Our Islam